The book over my shoulder, The Indictment, is about how we must prosecute the Chinese Communist Party and friends for crimes against America, China, and the world.
Friends?
Friends of China who are perpetrating on their behalf crimes against our country, including betraying our country. We talk about it as part of an indictment of crimes against humanity and 8 different war crimes against the United States arising from the fact that the Chinese Communist Party has been at war with us, using particularly pre-kinetic means for decades.
Kinetic meaning?
Explanation. Kinetic meaning military, violent, destructive ones. With the exception, of course, of that nasty biological warfare attack they unleashed on us in 2019.
What do you mean with the exception of? Isn't that included?
I would call that more of a kinetic kind of attack than a pre-kinetic kind, but it's actually one of the ways in which 2 colonels back in 1999 said they thought China ought to wage unrestricted war against us. And lo and behold, they have.
Why has the media and the government downplayed the potential intentional development and dissemination of the epidemic throughout the West?
Personally, I think that part of the reason is one of the most effective lines of attack in that unrestricted warfare is what the Chinese call elite capture. And when you have elites in government, in the media, in business, like Big Pharma, for example, the desire, the felt necessity of accommodating the Chinese rather than exposing them is operating, I think. So, there may be other considerations too. Some were simply not convinced, or some thought, it was the politic thing to go along with the party line. But at the end of the day, we were lied to by both the Chinese Communist Party, Tony Fauci, the FDA, the CDC, the World Health Organization, and most especially Joe Biden and his administration, that we needed to do lockdowns and quarantines and mandatory vaccinations and all the rest of it. We didn't, and that helped impose, in fact, one of the other forms of this unrestricted warfare against us, the so-called China model, with devastating effects.
What about the censorship state that we're in now? Lots that would appear in your book is unique because it hasn't been able to get past Google or YouTube or any of the willing censors on behalf of the Democratic Party. How will your book reach a broad audience?
We're hoping that it'll reach a broad audience because I think there are enough people now who are alert to the fact that they're not getting all of the information they're entitled to, and that it's now the case that the Chinese Communist Party seems bent on adding to the unrestricted warfare and the People's War that they declared in May of 2019, the old-fashioned kind of war, the shooting kind. And I think that there's a growing appetite on the part of the American people for an understanding of what these guys are up to, and most importantly, ideas like we have in the book, 20 different action items that need to be taken to try to protect our country and people.